With the data I look at and the history that I know and the things that I've learned, I see communities constantly and consistently evolving and changing. And so I tend to think about small towns in a little bit more positive light, that it has changed a lot. It has evolved from where it has been 20, 30, 40, or 50 years ago. I know not everything's positive. I know there are problems and challenges, but I believe we need to nuance the narrative a little bit more away from just negative or revitalization, but more towards look at all these interesting things happening in all of these interesting places.
I never thought that I would get into filmmaking when I was younger, but opportunities arose for me here in Lanesboro, and I figured that I would take advantage of them.
Lanesboro, a small town southeastern Minnesota, is most known today for its arts and theater, although in the past, Lanesboro was just another small town that relied on agriculture.
I was not really interested in filmmaking before this opportunity arose. I never thought I'd be doing anything like this. It's kind of just, I found out about it and I thought, why not?
Lanesboro was created by joint stock company owners from New York, with a starting population of about 600 people. The time it was founded is very much disputed, some saying 1869 and others saying 1868.
Yeah, kind of similar to what Nora said. It arose and we don't have a lot of extracurricular things, and I'm kind of a creative kid, and since she was doing it, I figured I might as well at least apply, and then I got in, so.
My name is Nora Sampson.
My name is Mai-Gjere.
And my name is Olivia Obrich, and we are youth filmmakers.
In the early years, Lanesboro was just like any other small Midwestern town. Lanesboro had everything its residents needed: somewhere to eat, somewhere to drink, somewhere to worship, and a hotel.
The Smithsonian Institute, they offered us, I don't know, a good amount of money. To do this thing called the Youth Access Technology Project, which I think is through Museums on Main Street, just to give us like cameras, laptops. Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting that it somehow managed to work out in the way that hers is about like the past of Lanesboro, and then Olivia's was a little bit after that to like now, and mine's sort of a little bit about the future. And I don't know how that managed to happen, but.
We didn't really plan it like that. We kind of just we went down to the museum in Lanesboro, and we kind of just looked through some old stuff, saw what things from the past might be interesting and how we could apply it to now. That was kind of just how we chose them, picked them out, made sure they weren't too similar, but they all kind of connected a bit.
A couple hours of brainstorming went into that process too, and writing it up on our whiteboards and like, here's what you can pick from, like, what do you think?
So what caused the transformation in Lanesboro from its semi-neglected state to the vibrant town it is today?
The trail was the first huge factor, I think, that really brought southeastern Minnesota as well as Lanesboro a lot of growth.
We really did help each other. We would help each other like set up cameras, set up chairs, all of that. Mai and I would often ask each other about questions we were doing them, help each other review them, stuff like that.
Agriculture is undeniably a part of many families' history. When the Homestead Act was enacted in 1862, many people and families moved to the area to start a new life. This is where the tradition of family farms started, and many of the people who first acquired land still have it in their families today.
I learned a lot about the agricultural side of Lanesboro and how it's kind of been pushed to second along with the arts, but it's still really thriving in Lanesboro. And I was kind of introduced to all that because I'd only been familiar with the arts side of Lanesboro so far.
It was horrible. It was literally a ghost town. There was very little to do.
Lanesboro was a ghost town in '87 when we decided to take over the White Front.
Right around '87, they started working on the trail and putting the bike trails in, and then Mrs. B's opened around that same time, and the Old Barn Resort.
Well, I would say 25 years ago, most of the buildings in town were getting close to falling down. So it was very lucky that the bike trail was built to bring people here, so that saved Main Street of Lanesboro, all these buildings.
And little by little, it got busier and busier.
I would say I just met a lot more people than I think I would have without doing this. Just like a lot of arts people, and then people who I interviewed, and I think it made me appreciate like just all the businesses here and just.
The Root River State Trail officially opened in 1989.
In fact, my son and my wife rode the inaugural ride with the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota from Rushford to Lanesboro on their bikes and cut the ribbon. And that changed the area.
Yeah, one of the things that I got out of this project was a deeper appreciation of my town and a deeper investment in my town, because you meet a lot of people during this process. You interview a lot of people, you get contacts at Lanesboro Arts, and it makes you want to go deeper, I think, or at least it did for me. And another thing that I gained out of this whole project too was just, I think, a self-confidence as well, because there were times that were definitely challenging, and you can look back on the project now and think, man, I did that, and that's very rewarding.
As you know, we're pretty much a tourist community, and we would like to grow this town into a real heavy 12-month community. So in the wintertime, we don't have businesses that close that can sustain themselves for over the full year.
One huge driver we have in our area is Lanesboro Arts.
We have a sales gallery, we have an exhibition gallery, and the organization is very, very busy with lots of other programs, which include education, artist residencies. We have a theater that we program with lots and lots of different performances going on. The list goes on and on and on.
Especially with what the Art Center did with it and what we did with it. I've heard this from many people saying how it was really important to them because they really thought that these things need to be recorded and shared.